Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm the chair of Rocky Mountain, USITT. Our section here is Colorado and Wyoming. And we wanted to start introducing everyone to our regional summer stocks that we have available, places for people to come out and work and join us out here in the high altitude environments. It's a good time for all of you. I would love to start with all of you introducing yourselves and what theater you work for and what your position is there. We'll start with Ben.
Hey, everybody. My name is Ben Whitmore. I am the director of production at Theater Silco. We're in Silverthorne, Colorado. Just a brief jaunt up I-70 from Denver area. And yeah, we are a year-round theater company, but we do expand quite a bit in the summertime when we do some of the bigger shows and have sort of what we call a modified rep situation.
Wonderful. Emily?
Hi, my name is Emily Barber, and I am the director of production at Central City Opera. We are a summer festival repertory. This year, we're doing 3 shows, 2 operas and a play this year. So that's really exciting for us. And then we've got a host of kind of other events that happen during our festival season.
I love that Colorado is just all rep. It's amazing. Jake, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jake Harbour, Director of Production and Facilities at Creede Repertory Theater in Creede, Colorado. We're nestled up in the San Juan Mountains near the headwaters of the Rio Grande.
And John?
Hi, everybody. John Dunkle here. I'm the production manager for the historic Colorado Shakespeare Festival up in Boulder, Colorado, on the campus of the University of Colorado. Nice to see you all.
And Michael.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael Querio. I'm the Executive Artistic Director at the Rocky Mountain Repertory Theater. We're up in Grand Lake, Colorado. We're right next to the Rocky Mountain National Park. Not an easy jaunt from Route 70.
But delightful, I'm sure.
Delightful and beautiful, absolutely.
Wonderful. A lot of these places are kind of a little bit remote, being
Yeah.
so rural as we are out here in Colorado. Everybody always thinks of Denver, but none of you are in Denver. So, could you tell everyone a little bit about the area, about the town that you're in, and kind of what it's like if people were to spend a summer at your theater? And we'll just go in the same order.
Sure. So, like I said, we're in Summit County, Colorado, and in Silverthorne, the township formerly of Dillon, Colorado, which is like literally next door to Silverthorne. Previously, Theater Silco was the Lake Dillon Theater Company, and having moved locations, that sort of prompted a name change a few years ago. And Silverthorne and Summit County in general, a lot of people are familiar with Breckenridge, Colorado, which is kind of the main attraction up here in Summit County. And we're very close to 5 major ski areas, and in the wintertime we get a lot of ski snow sports and visitors up here. We also have a pretty loyal following that come up from the Front Range and beyond, from all over the state, really. And then in the summertime there's a lot of outdoor activities: hiking, biking, sailing. So that's really sort of where we capitalize on. About somewhere in the neighborhood of 2/3 of our patrons are either from out of town and not Summit County residents. But we do have a pretty loyal group of our Summit County residents who do frequent the theater and support us in that way as well.
So, Central City Opera is located in, you guessed it, Central City, Colorado. We're about 45 minutes outside of Denver. Uh, it is a historic mining town. Our theater was actually built in 1878, so we are very much all about the history. So much so that the opera company owns several dozen historic houses, which is also where we house all of our festival staff as well. So I like to tell everyone who comes to Central City that what you trade in convenience, you get in beauty of landscape and history. There's a lot of hiking as well. There's river rafting, a lot of those mountain activities. But what really people come to Central City for is the history.
Nice. Well, as I said earlier, we're deep in the San Juan Mountains. We're at the headwaters of the Rio Grande. We're also originally a small mining town. Silver was the trade here in Creede. But for the last 60 years, it's also been a theater town. Whenever I'm talking to new hires, or at least new to us hires, I like to let them know just kind of how remote we are. The closest Walmart is about an hour and a half away. Closest fast food is a Dairy Queen, which is a 45-minute drive away. The nice thing is that all the shops in town are all mom and pop owned and operated. We do produce 4 shows in our main stage season, as well as an improv show called Boomtown. We've got a young audience outreach tour, which is a world premiere bilingual Spanish-English musical. It sees around 30,000 students just in the Southwest. And then we've got a kid show that is put on by our education department that is performed by students ages 10 to 18. I think another just part of that is that we do work in rotating rep here, which means that as shows open, they stay open. At the height of our season, we're performing each show 2 to 3 times a week, but never back to back. So that means that each day we have at least 1 to 2 changeovers. So putting one show down and putting another up, sometimes between a matinee and evening performance, which is just a part of our bread and butter.
John, you're next.
Sorry, I'm next. Sorry, I forgot the order when we got here.
That's okay.
Yeah, so CSF is we are a 68-year-old summer stock Shakespeare festival. Actually, we are the second oldest Shakespeare festival in the country. We are on the campus of the University of Colorado Boulder, but we are not the theater department. And I make that distinction because there are obviously many summer theater programs that reside on college campuses, and it is sort of my undergrad was exactly the same way, right? That it just sort of flipped and everybody changed roles for the summertime, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I do make a point of advertising to folks that when you come to CSF, we bring in a bunch of people from the greater Denver area, obviously, but also from all over the country, and we sort of celebrate that diversity of people and place and whatnot when everybody comes to Boulder in the summer. Boulder, Colorado itself is it's Boulder, Colorado. It's a big city next to the mountains with a really big, beautiful college campus on it. And when people come to work with us at Boulder, I like to say, and I think I'm being truthful, it's a little bit of a theater vacation in Colorado. But it's connected, right? So in 5 minutes, you can be up in the mountains going on a hike. It's a very bike-friendly town. If you want to get to the big city, you can hop on a bus and be in Denver in 45 minutes. And so it tends to appeal to our fellow theater professionals who are interested in some of those things, and even the people who are not interested in some of those things learn to love a lot of those things when they come in and stay with us. We perform 4 shows in 2 theaters. We essentially have 2 companies. We have an outdoor company that performs in the historic Mary Rippon Outdoor Theater. For those of you familiar with our operations, the Mary Rippon has been closed for 2 years and is about to open up after a massive 2-year renovation. So we're all really excited about that we get to move back into that theater this year. And then we also have an indoor company, and they perform 2 shows indoors on the stage of the Rowe Green Theater, which is the University of Colorado's theater training building. That I think sums it up. Yeah, that's CSF in Boulder.
The Rocky Mountain Rep is located in Grand Lake, Colorado. Grand Lake is this tiny little town, elevation 8,600. The town has maybe 400 residents year round, but it explodes in the summertime as a tourism community. The lakes up here, Grand Lake, and the next 2 are, absolutely beautiful. And with the Rocky Mountain National Park, the tourism, a million tourists go through. So that's where we are. I don't know the stats about the Walmart. Everything is 2 hours away from Grand Lake. I don't even know what the closest Wendy's is. It's remote. We do 3 musicals in rotating rep in the summer, and then we do one show in September that doesn't rotate. We don't have a set change on a night, which is nice.
Thank you all. That's I want to go to everywhere now. All right. Before we get into specifically technical positions and such, could you all tell us a little bit about your theater's culture and like what values are important to your theater company?
I'm so glad you asked this question. It's my favorite question. I will truncate my TED talk, but normally when I'm talking to folks, I have, been in the past, we've all been part of a summer stock that just kind of burns people out and just, people come in and out the doors, But what we try to do is foster a culture here at Theater Silco where, well, to create what I call a repeatable experience where people want to come back. People enjoy not only the beautiful surroundings of where we all are located in beautiful Colorado, but you know, the atmosphere of putting on a show and being part of something that you're proud and excited and just thrilled to be a part of. And that's the kind of experience that we want to create. I value people over productions, and that's sort of been our guiding principle. Certainly since our rebrand and sort of expanding to a much bigger facility that we're in now. If you haven't been to the Silverthorne Performing Arts Center, it's a beautiful, awesome, fun place to work. But yeah, I think what we try to do is we try to be respectful of people's time so that they're respectful of what they're contributing, and we value. We try to foster a culture that does value that, where we're keeping track of those hours. And hey, you know what? You've been here since 10 a.m. because you had a kid show. You don't have to do this rehearsal. We don't need the full tech crew for this. We'll give you the notes and it'll be fine. So that's sort of what we're about, and that's certainly a big part of our values and our culture here at Silco.
So the kind of backbone of the programming at Central City Opera is actually based on our performing artists, training artists. So we bring a lot of greener performing artists in, but what is so wonderful about that is that we pair them with seasoned artists. So that way, both these seasoned artists and these greener artists are learning from each other and growing. And the reason I bring that up is because that kind of culture is, of course, ripples through to our production department. I am always looking in our production department to make sure that every person gets an opportunity for growth, no matter where they are in their professional journey. Because as we all know from theater, every production, we can learn something new. So we're always focused on, how us as an organization, us as a company, can give to the people that we bring up the hill, we say, so that way they can continue to grow. And then, like Ben said, kind of in a repeatable, so that way they will want to come back to us or know what it's like to have a wonderful experience elsewhere. So we are really very people first as well. We want to make sure people are getting as much out of the summer as they care to get, and making sure that we have very much an open door policy that if something can be better within our culture, we are ready to hear that, and not only hear and listen, but receive that as well. So that way we can do better for the people who are with us currently and for future seasons as well.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. We're also interested in investing in our community first, which means having a human first like value system. We want to make sure that we are investing in the staff in our seasonal company, the students who take classes with us or participate in our student performances. We want to uplift the folks in our town who also can't directly participate in the theater that we do. Because we're in a small town, similar to Michael, there's only 400 of us who live here year round too. And everyone's looking to make that dollar. Everybody needs to, for everything to go well for everyone. So we're thinking about that a lot. Knowing that we're one of the main economic drivers of the small town, we know that we need to thrive. If we're able to thrive, the entire town thrives, and vice versa. We're also very interested in, as a company, in being very intentional and thoughtful about the decisions that we're making season to season. Similar to what Emily is expressing, we're going to learn also, I think after 2020, I think all theaters were given a good opportunity to look at themselves and see how we can care for folks and tell story better and more kindly, and still have that really great artistic excellence. Um, and we're interested in being a place of belonging, uh, in our collective artistry as theater makers. We're interested in inspiring and provoking and nourishing, the artistic souls of everybody who walks through our doors. Um, we can't decide if that happens or not, but we want to try to facilitate as much as we can.
Yeah, just like everybody that's spoken before me, CSF certainly thinks we consider our people our greatest asset, for sure. Uh, and the culture, at least driven from my perspective, is that it's my job and our duty as a company to do the best shows we possibly can with the resources that we have available. I mean, that sounds very simple to say in here, but we all know that there's many theater companies that really push the limits of that, and we pride ourselves in staying very grounded in that, and that bigger is not necessarily better. In that but on the flip side of that, while we are not fostering necessarily a grind mentality, we do celebrate a hustle mentality. That we're here to work. This is a team sport. It's collaborative. Um, yes, there's no coming to work sick anymore, which is an awesome thing. But if you're not here, we miss you, right? The work that you do with our company is valuable, and our shows are better when you're here. And so we really have taken that and sort of made that a bit of our kind of perpetual training day in the theater right now, at least with the people that we have that are interested in working with us. Uh, I really believe that as I think Jake just mentioned, that after 2020, we all had a moment to sort of assess things. And some theaters are doing a really good job of that. Some theaters are still learning things the hard way. I really firmly believe that our culture at CSF, partially because, one of the best parts of my job, and I know other people in this room share this too, is I get to interview literally hundreds of people that are looking for work in this business, everybody from college kids to seasoned pros. And on a yearly basis, to be able to analyze that cross section of people that are coming to us and to apply what we're seeing from those conversations and with the people that we invite to come and be with us, what lessons are we all learning? What are we taking away from that? And I mean this when I say it, that my colleagues, in every case where there's been a choice to be made, right? A decision to be made, whether it was in the face of controversy, whether it's in the face of a bad news cycle, whether it's in the face of fill in the blank in the last 5 years. I really feel very proud of the fact that I think that all of us on the senior staff at CSF, when faced with those choices, we all truthfully believe that we were making the best decision possible. Whether that turned out to be 100% right down the road, that's a learning experience. But we really do pride ourselves in trying to do the best thing we possibly can, and also understanding that circumstances change, and we're in a world now where pivoting, I'm a lot more comfortable pivoting now than I was before. There, and we're not afraid to do that if it means that we are continuing to say we are doing the best show we possibly can with these resources, even if they change on a daily basis. And it's those sorts of things that are baked into the culture of how we get 4 shows up and running at CSF.
At Rocky Mountain Rep each season, we hire a company of about 50 people. And in the company, actors, musicians, directors, designers, production, whatever, we always talk about all of us doing work that we can be proud of. And we stress all the time the importance of the total company, that everybody who comes to work, then we have housing for all our people. And we stress all the time that you're part of a theater company. You're really good at your job. They're some of the best theater professionals we can find, but it is being part of the theater company. Um, and we tell everybody that up front, just because we want people who are going to buy into that culture. We want our people to be take part in the community. We're very well connected with the town of Grand Lake. The town likes having the theater company. The theater company likes being part of the town, and every one of our people are representatives and participants in that. So we talk about that all the time. It's the community culture that we're trying to build. And there is a sense, there's a kind of mentorship that goes on in our company where in every department, whether it's an actor or musician or technician, there are some seasoned pros who have been at it for years and years and years. And there are some brand new people who are perhaps just college students or just out of college. And every department benefits from that relationship of the younger people learning from the older people, et cetera. That's kind of the culture that we have at Rocky Mount Rep.
I love it. I love hearing how everyone's values have changed and shifted since 2020. I think summer stock, I mean, it's a lot of work, but I find that it's gotten more gentle over the years on people, and I just think that's lovely. We're still able to do good work, and that's so great. I'm gonna Uno reverse on you guys and make you go backwards this time so that our last people get a chance to talk first
Uno
this
reverse.
time. So, all right, time to start selling me your places. Other than the lovely areas and the beautiful history that you all have, what kinds of technical positions do you hire every year, and how big are those crews? What can people expect to see on your job postings? Go ahead, Michael.
We hire about 20 people each season in the technical crews. Every crew is small. Lighting has 2 people in it. Sound has 2 people in it. Set construction will have 3 people in it. Costumes will have 4 people in it. Um, each department is small, and usually it's what I just said with a seasoned pro and a younger person being led by the seasoned pro. Um, yeah, it's about 20 positions that we'll hire in a season.
Great. John?
Yeah, we have a pretty big staff. In production, we have between 65 and 75 that come to campus every year. And we hire a mix of seasoned professionals who come from all over the country and many local folks. We hire what I lovingly refer to as early career artists who are either advanced in their training, whatever that may be. I have released thinking that training in this business is tied to a 4-year-old or a 4-year-old theater school. So wherever you are in your training, that makes you, say, an early career artist. Now, typically, that's what we all think it is. It's advanced level undergraduate. It's 1 or 2 years into a graduate program. It's 1 or 2 years out of one of those programs. Just starting to, get your resume going, to make some connections, to build some skills and apply what you have learned in your program in a professional capacity for many of these folks for the first time. And then we also hire current students. The current student category for us has replaced what we used to call interns, right? So we no longer have production interns at CSF. Every position is a paid position. However, one thing that we wanted to hold on to was, rather than just getting rid of that opportunity for a learning experience or a true entry level position where, yes, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in learning a little bit more about it. If it's the right thing for me, I'm going to be really good at it within a week. And so we have opportunities for those folks. And so if you are a currently enrolled student, if you are in any kind of academic training program, I can hire you essentially with the qualifications of what we used to apply to, like a pretty green intern. So all of those positions are available, and I don't really hire on quotas of any of that. So our crews are made up of what's the best combination of those folks that are going to fill a particular department. It might be a seasoned pro and 2 early career folks and a staff person or a student staff. It might be 4 students. It might be all season pros. So we really don't, we're not hiring to fill line items of how many pros do we need, how many interns do we need, et cetera, et cetera. We look at the shows as a whole and the applicant pool, and we make decisions about that appropriately. Like I said, we have between 65 and 75 positions, and they're full shops. So we have a full scene shop with technical directors, associate technical directors, staff carpenters, student staff carpenters, props designers and supervisors, props artisans, props run crew. I mean, it could go down the list of all these positions that everybody knows, but electrics department has a full complement. And largely the reason for the numbers is we have two theaters, right? We're operating two theaters, and there's a little bit of blending, right? So the team of electricians is the three electricians from outside and the three electricians from inside, and they make up a team of six. So they'll make up a team of six to get a light plot hung, and then they will split off to their individual show calls and show responsibilities and that type of thing. Costume shop is the same. Costume shop is quite large. We actually take the footprint of the University of Colorado's uh, costume shop for the theater department and we double the square footage. We take over a rehearsal hall across the hallway and literally double the amount of space that we have. So there are shop managers, associate shop managers, two drapers, two first hands, stitchers. There's 4 people in the craft shop, 5 people in the wig shop. So it's rather substantial. We offer 2 contracts. So we have a 9-week contract where everybody comes in at the beginning and we all build all 4 shows. After the 4th show opens, some contracts end and then we're left with a run crew, which works out really nice because there are people who are maybe they've grown out of wanting to spend 13 weeks away from their dog or their kids or their husband or their wife. And so coming and working with us for 9 weeks is great. If you are applying for one of these positions, supervisors, a lot of folks that we have are faculty members at universities around the country. They are working professionals whose seasons in New York and Chicago and LA have a breather. And so that 9-week contract is really great for them. And the other nice thing about that is that often the people that remain are the younger, the early career folks. And one of the best experiences about CSF is you get to work being propped up with all of these people for 9 weeks. And then some of the most awesome growth that I've witnessed in the people that work for us are when the grown-ups go away. And now all of a sudden, for those last 4 weeks, sort of the second rung is now in charge and and seeing that success and then wear that success and come back year after year for that success is pretty great. So it's a large production department. It's fast paced. We work 6 days a week typically, 8 or 10 hours a day. Monday is always a day off. If we can take Tuesday off too, that's awesome. Or if we can take Sunday off too, that's awesome. But we're gonna come to work and we're gonna do hard work and build great shows with a great group of people.
Jake, you're still in the middle.
I know, and that's okay. It'll be a me sandwich. So we've also got a relatively small-ish production department. We hire somewhere between 25 and 35 people in production. I also hire all of our designers, and there's some crossover sometimes with that, and we'll talk about that in the next question. So in our scenic shop, we hire 6 folks, technical director, sometimes an ATD. We'll have a stage supervisor who leads all of our changeovers, who starts as a carpenter and then moves over. I won't get into more detail there. In props, we've got 3 folks, a props head, an artisan, and a carp. We'll have 3 folks in lighting, a shop head, and then 2 other folks. In sound, we'll have 2 people, again, a sound head, and then often an A2 or just someone who is still learning sound and all the technology around that. In costume and wardrobe, we have 6 folks. 3 people are dedicated in the shop as build crew. We have 2 of our wardrobe positions are stitcher wardrobe folks who will start the season as a stitcher, and then as shows open, we'll move over into a wardrobe position. We also have 4 stage managers that we'll hire season to season. So that, and as well as designers for our main stage shows and our education offerings. I think very similarly, we're working on a 6-day work week. We're paying hourly and doing our best to stick to 8-hour days when possible. Meetings seem to be the thing that always take us over, and you've got to have those pesky meetings after tech days. So it's just the way it is.
Emily, I think it's your turn.
Great. We are a union company. We work with AGMA, we work with AFM for our orchestra, and of course we work with IATSE. That also means that our IATSE team, our stagehands do a lot of our tech elements for electrics, carpentry, etc. However, we do have positions open each season for our costume department, which is a team of 10, hair and makeup, which is a team of 4. We've got a separate props department that works with designing, sourcing, etc. props, but also works with our IATSE props crew. And then we've got a stage management team of 6. We pay weekly, again, a 6-day work week. And since we are also a union company, it is just a lot easier for us to stick with our union CBA obligations for everyone across the board. We do our very best to make sure we're not going over 50 hours a week. If we can give people days off besides Mondays, we will absolutely do that. Again, it's definitely in that people first kind of sphere. Another thing that I am personally very excited about that we can offer is we also have admin interns. These are paid positions, but they give people who are maybe a little unsure about which direction they want to go an opportunity to be around a lot of technical aspects, some stage management aspects, but then also get the opportunity to set up their own events. We've got these small ancillary events that happen around our season. And so depending on what these administrative interns want to focus in on, they could focus in on how we do scheduling or how we set up our scenes program. So that way they can explore a little bit more of what they're interested in.
All right. Last but not least, with a W last name, this is right where I belong. This is what I normally am used to. So our technical staff is also extends into our apprentice company. We have like supervisors for our departments that we hire every year, and then we have 1 or 2 depending on the department and the needs. Scenic is probably a little bit bigger just at the beginning of the season, and then it sort of kind of peters out. We have different varying weeks of contracts and stuff. Our apprentice company is pretty robust. Pretty much every department we have, including some of our admin, our marketing team, box office, philanthropy, and development, also get opportunities to have some apprentices that work with them. All of our positions are paid as well. So we are, it certainly varies by experience and sort of the demands of each position as well. But we do try sort of it is as I believe John said, it's sort of it's a puzzle, right? You have to piece it together based on the pieces that you have. So sometimes we have a department that is more apprentice or people who are earlier in their career, and then led by maybe one supervisor or somebody who's on full-time staff like myself. I tend to run the operations in the scene shop, prop shop, and then the technology departments. And then my production managers usually handle wardrobe, costume, and then like crew positions. And then we sort of pull and piece together based on our candidates and their sort of, or the people that we hire, and then sort of their skill set to say, oh, we can have a crew track for this person as well. Also, they're here, their duration of their contract might lengthen then to say 12 weeks, as opposed to a production-based contract where you're not running a crew and it might be 8 weeks, 8 or 9 weeks. Again, depending on the season, the number of shows we're doing, that kind of stuff. So it is a bit of a moving target, but I would say at any given summer, we're looking from, I would say on the low end, like 20 applicants in all the various departments that have already been mentioned. Maybe upwards of 40 on a big summer. If we have like a big tent show, like with 20 some odd people. And as Emily mentioned, we're also, a different union, Actors Equity Association. So when it comes to our performers, we have different obligations that we have to adhere to for our stage managers and actors. So we do have stage management apprentices. We have a stage management team, but those members, there's certain ratios you have to meet for, who has to be on an equity contract and all that kind of stuff. We have equity and non-equity performance contracts as well. So some of our actors, and those are generally staggered based on the number of, what shows they're hired for. We used to do a full season of actors, but now we have some that are hired for like 2 of the 3. Some of them, it's very rare that someone's in all like 3 or 4 of the productions. Usually we have people coming and going, which drives my poor company manager. Also a department we look for some apprentice help in the summertime, when drives her just absolutely up the wall. So she needs the help. But yeah, so I'd say about 20 to maybe 35 is usually what we're looking for in that world.
Right. I mean, it sounds like everybody has really nice, robust teams, and that's absolutely delightful. I love hearing that. So now is your opportunity. Give me your bestest stump speech for your theater. Tell me why everybody should apply to your theater specifically and not any of these other yahoos on the screen. Give it to me. Tell me the bestest of your theater. Go ahead, Michael.
I've been working at this theater for 30 years, and I just keep coming back because it's really good work in an absolutely beautiful place, with a team that is a joy to work with. Um, and now all over our publicity, it's going to be Colorado's most awarded theater because we cleaned up at the Henry Awards this year. Woohoo. Um, that's going to be all over our publicity next year. I think Grand Lake is great. Come join us.
Amazing. Congrats on all the Henrys.
Thanks.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, sure. Easy. You're going to come to CSF. You're going to work on some great theater. You're going to learn some things, and you're going to make a bunch of friends, guaranteed. In all seriousness, I have a great deal of affection for this company. I'm asked often by my friends who are still back in New York. They say, and also I was a very surprising move to Colorado. No one ever thought that I would do anything like that. That was 8 years ago. And I'm asked often by friends in New York, "Oh, do you still like it?" And my answer is absolutely easy and clear. If I didn't, I wouldn't still be here. And I really mean that. That I'm not interested in working for a company that I don't like or support or agree with how we do things or have a good time. We really do have a lot of fun. We do great work, and all 3 of those things come true for people every year. We do great work. You learn some things. You make a bunch of friends. I will say the feather in our cap is for the last 2 years at CSF, I've had a 50% return rate across the production department, and that's in production and designers. And those are people who come to CSF, they participate in it, they are exposed to our methodology and our philosophy of how we think we should be doing this, and they're really awesome people, and they happen to agree with it. And having them come back year after year is a real mark of success for us. So come hang out in Boulder.
Well, I know that every person is looking for a different experience or opportunity as they continue their tech-based storytelling journey. So I know that CRT won't be every theater artisan's best place to work. Not to say that this isn't a lovely place to work, but I think our remoteness, the grit that it sometimes takes to do theater up high in the mountains is difficult. Um, but what I love about this place is how quickly we get to switch from project to another project. I like the community that is built quickly around the shared love of this artistry. And I strive to make this theater a place where an artist can participate in different parts of their artistry. We have costume stitchers who also may design costumes for our kids show. We have carpenters who will build for us and then become an integral part of our improv troupe. Something else that helps us thrive because of our size is that our seasonal company has direct access to upper management. That means that when there's an issue or concern, folks are able to come right into my office to chat. For me, this will be my 15th season with CRT. I started as a carpenter, as an intern carpenter. We don't do that anymore either. Became the head of sound and did sound design here for a long period of time. And then took many years away and came back into this position. But I was given opportunity here at Creede Repertory Theater to grow in my artistry and make leaps between departments to express myself. And I am interested in, you know, upcoming artisans being able to have that opportunity. Because we don't always know what our true love of the storytelling is until we really get our teeth into it. And it's hard to feel like we're pigeonholed. And I've at least in my generation, and I think a lot of these other folks on this call probably found ourselves maybe stuck at a certain point in our careers doing one thing or another, and then maybe found another way to tell those stories or to facilitate telling those stories. So that's one of my goals here at CRT, and would love to invite people to do that here with us too.
So the reason why you should come to Central City Opera is in the title. It's opera. There's not many places you can go and work at an opera company. I've worked at many theaters around the US, specifically opera companies. And in the 94 years that Central City has been in existence, I have met countless people who have been through our doors. The people who've worked at Central City Opera are all over the nation, all over the globe now, part of that really rich, almost 100-year history. Many people have such wonderful, fond memories that they have really enjoyed sharing with me now that I am in my position at Central City Opera. It's a wonderful history and legacy to be a part of. And when you start working in opera, truly the sky's the limit for where you go. There's this weird thing that, you know, every opera company is looking for really great technicians, really great designers, really great whatever. And if you've worked for another opera company, then that is just another feather in your cap and on your resume.
Fantastic. First of all, I would just say to anyone who's applying for any of these positions, all of these theaters would be very lucky to have you. You'd be lucky to work at any of these groups with any of these folks. So I encourage you, and I'm not going to pretend we're all not competing for the same people who want to come out to Colorado. First, let's just address that elephant in the room. I am certainly very fortunate to work where I work here at Silco. I've been a part of this organization for going on 20 years now. I started as a performer in a summer stock environment where we loaded in the shows. We ran the kids' camp during the day. We hiked up the hill and did our show, and then we went home. And a point of boasting, I guess, we are walking distance to a Target, so that's pretty exciting here in Silverthorne, Colorado. So I'll just go ahead and add that in. But in all seriousness, if you want to work in a place that is certainly on the smaller side of operations, but a place where you can have an impact, everyone who works for us is a big part of what we do. And we realize that, we value that. We do try our best to lead with that as an idea. A place where, I've been coming back here. I've struck out on my own, started a theater company in another state, came back, started a carpentry business, came back. And, I was always a foot halfway in the door at Theater Silco, no matter how many times I left. The diversity of programming that our artistic team comes up with, the way they handle themselves with integrity, everyone, I think, feels valued here. And it is certainly something that we strive for, and we would certainly be very interested in talking to anyone who wants to work out here in Colorado, as all of these people on this panel would. And again, I'm honored to be here on this call with all of you. So thank you guys for your time. And Mandy, thanks for coordinating all this.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the, as a formerly out of state designer who, has moved here to Colorado, I've had ties to the theater companies in Colorado for since 2012 when I first started at Creede Rep. And what happens is it's just like the opera. Once you start working at a Colorado theater, you end up getting traded around to all of them because As rural and as large of a state as we are, we all know each other, and it is a tight-knit community in a lot of ways, and I do think that's really lovely. And
And boy,
Ben,
do we all benefit from showing pictures of our state
yeah, just look at the
whenever
mountains. Come
we
here.
we interview everybody and they're from Tennessee or whatever, and then like, look where you could come.
You there is a lot of Tennessee people who come out here. We
Yeah.
just get tired of the flat part.
Yeah, our scenic designers from Tennessee.
And I know him too. See,
Yeah,
it's just a thing.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Ben got welcomed back to a theater that threw him a whole retirement party. So, it's
That's a
all
much
right.
longer story than we have time for.
But it's a good one, and you can hear more about it if you apply to Theater Silco. So, come hear all of our good stories. Last question for you all, just a chance to tell everyone where they can find your job postings. Do you post on Offstage? Is it just on your website? Do you go to any recruiting events? Just a general note for anyone watching this, USITT does have a new thing called Summer Stock Connects. So for any companies and or people wanting to recruit or find a summer stock, USITT Summer Stock Connects is a great place to go for job postings. But where do you all post?
Am I still first? We are on our website, and Offstage Jobs are always 100% accurate. If we end up not finding what we want, then we'll branch out into other places. But definitely on our website, and Offstage Jobs are the most up-to-date listings for us.
And I guess let us know around what time you also post. Sorry, forgot to add that.
Yep, beginning of the year. So in January at some point, we will post all of our positions. And as they rotate, as things get filled and vacated, we'll keep them updated.
We post in all the usual places. So certainly you can find us on our website, either by Googling Colorado Shakespeare Festival, but the webpage will actually take you to our presenting organization on campus, which is the organization called CU Presents. So all of the positions that are available through CU Presents, which the Colorado Shakespeare Festival is under, are all there. And that's everything. That's all of our professional staff positions, that's student staff opportunities, that's stage management apprentice opportunities, that's front of house opportunities, all of those jobs. Also our summer camp, we have a summer camp and an education department. So all of those jobs are in one place. In the trades, we do Playbill and Art Search typically are the two that we push out. And this is interesting, and bear with me for a second, but I was just told from our office manager that automatically at the University of Colorado, you can also find our job descriptions at the Chronicle of Higher Education, Higher Ed Jobs, Indeed, the Direct Employers Network, Asians in Higher Ed, Blacks in Higher Ed, Disabled in Higher Ed, Hispanics in Higher Ed, LGBT in Higher Ed, Native Americans in Higher Ed, Veterans in Higher Ed, and Women in Higher Ed.
Awesome. So you can find us at our website. Creede is not spelled like the band. There's an extra E after the D of Creede. So creedrep.org/work with us. We're going to post on Playbill, Offstage Jobs. I'll be at USITT. I'll be at SETC this year. We'll post on Art Search. We'll post our equity, both actors and stage management positions with equity. So you can find us in all those places.
When?
Oh my goodness. November 2nd is when it should all be up.
Great. So we also post on our website, centralcityopera.org. We also post for our local community on SCFD, the job listing on that website. And if we are still looking for positions, just like Michael, we kind of broaden a little bit for offstage jobs, Opera America, Playbill, etc. And then now maybe even USITT Summer Stock Connect. And that's going to be happening beginning of the year as well.
Sure. All those places that have been mentioned, I'm pretty sure we are on, maybe not as many as John just mentioned, but yeah, we post usually on offstage jobs. We post on our website, thesilco.org. That's a link to usually all the external places as well. And we've done a lot of Playbill and Backstage, all those kind of job posting websites. And a lot of times it's just word of mouth. We get a lot of people who know that as soon as we post our jobs, we're trying to get earlier, like before the beginning of the year. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. Our season announcement is like 2 months earlier than it has been, so that's exciting. So I think we're on track. Hopefully, we'll have job postings definitely by January. I'm going to say January for sure, and then we're already sort of in the works to get those things up and running now. But the silco.org is generally where I point people. It also has all of our positions, like all the people who work here full time, their emails, their office numbers. Like you can get, we're pretty easy to get in touch with, much to the chagrin of our web security. Me.
Well, wonderful. Thank you all for joining me today. This is lovely. I'm hoping to do this again with some of our others that we couldn't grab. There's still more. There's still more theaters here in Colorado and Wyoming, which is so great to have such a robust community. So thank you again all for coming, and have a great night.